My name is Tommaso Protti, I'm an Italian photographer. I spent approximately 6 months documenting different crises in the Amazon from the end of November 2018 till the last trip was in August 2009 of this year when the fires took place in the region. But the idea of the war project was to build a portrait of the modern Amazon where social and humanitarian crises overlap with the destruction of the forest, so with the environmental crisis. And the idea also was to depict and show a different side of the Amazon. So there especially I documented the drug trafficking, the violence related with this drug trafficking. Also in general showing how the peripheries are growing outside the cities, taking place to the forest. Pollution, a lot of garbage, and in general also the idea was also to explore and show the daily life and show the Amazon a place like anywhere else where people hang out, meet each other, and I wanted in a certain way escape from the classical cliches of the Amazon, an untouched land of forests with naked, isolated tribes. Since the beginning, Bolsonaro made clear that all the indigenous reserves had to be reduced to make space to cattle ranching and other kind of business. And of course, a lot of people start looking bad at the indigenous people. At the same time, indigenous people saw their saw their land, their territories threatened. And the consequence was that deforestation, illegal logging, illegal gold mining increased. And I documented, I followed, I met with the different tribes, some really traditional tribes like the Kayapos that are isolated in certain states. While also I followed these tribes of the Guajajara ethnic, who they have created a really activist group. They have armed themselves to patrol the territories and reserves and to expel the loggers. These are really risky activities. You have this kind of feeling to be in a no man's land, or better, in a modern Far West, where the absence of the state is really strong. There are no controls. Impunity is a key factor to understand all the crises taking place in the region. The Amazon is a very dangerous place, especially for indigenous leaders, environmental activists, and landless peasants, small farmers. We had an example really recently when this Guajajara indigenous leader, Paulo Paulino, was killed. He was killed during an ambush while he was going back to his village. For me, it was a really shocking news, really sad news, because I met him, I spent time with him, I followed him while I was on the field. I was in the state of Maranhão. He was killed in very close where I met him. At the end, you have this sensation, this feeling of impunity all around. As my work approached a variety of issues, I always found that where there is poverty and where people were struggling to survive inside the forest, that was a really key point to understand all the process related with the destruction and the deforestation. In a certain way, you can't really preserve the environment without fighting poverty.